Today, we will be learning about transport system in living things. Here is an overview of the topic. There are two processes that occur in living things, diffusion and osmosis. These two processes allow useful substances to be transported in and out of cells in organisms. Both plants and animals have their own unique transport systems. For plants, it involves the root, xylem, and phloem. For animals, you will be learning about the circulatory system. It consists of blood vessels, the heart, and blood. In this lesson, you will learn about the importance of transport system in living things. Also, on how diffusion and osmosis are involved in the transport systems. Let's do a quick recap of what we have learned last week. These are the cell organelles found in animals and plant cells. Do you still remember how to label them? Take a few seconds to recall how to do so before we continue with the lesson. Are you ready? Good. Let us move on to the functions of these cell organelles. In this topic, we will be focusing mainly on the cell membrane, which protects the cell and allows nutrients to come in and out of the cell. Can you recall the term that is used to describe the characteristic of the cell membrane? Yes, it is partially permeable. Now that you have managed to recall about the functions of the cell organelles, do you remember the definition of the cell? It is a fundamental unit of life where biological processes take place in. The uptake of nutrients and oxygen, as well as the removal of waste such as carbon dioxide, occur through transport systems. One example is the digestive system, which consists of organs such as the stomach and small intestine that break down large, complex food molecules into smaller and simpler ones. Why do most living things need a transport system? Animals and plants are multicellular organisms made up of millions of cells. Many cells do not have direct contact with the surrounding environment. As a result, they may not be able to obtain useful substances, or removal of waste substances cannot occur. An efficient transport system is required to distribute oxygen and dissolve nutrients to millions of cells in the body quickly. It also ensures a fast and efficient removal of waste substances from the cells to outside of the body. Here is the network of blood vessels in the circulatory system. It ensures a fast and efficient transport of oxygen around the body as blood flows through them. Unicellular organisms like the amoeba and bacteria do not require a transport system as they are made up of one cell only. They are in direct contact with the surrounding environment. Hence, they can obtain useful substances and remove waste substances through simple diffusion. Here is the picture of the amoeba as well as the bacterial cells. So what is diffusion? One day, you detect the scent of a perfume. After a while, I sprayed it. Perfume is a matter made up of liquid particles which evaporates and becomes gas particles in the air. Gas particles move about constantly as they collide onto one another. Gas particles spread throughout the house and reaches your nose. This process is called diffusion. Diffusion is a net movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration down a concentration gradient. Can you identify other phenomena which occur through diffusion? Take a few seconds to write down them. Are you ready? Let us go through some of the phenomena that also occur via diffusion. 1. It can be the scent of the rubbish chute that is detected after a while that rubbish has been poured away by the garbage truck. Another one can be the scent of your mom's cooking from the kitchen. Let us look at the process of diffusion in liquid. The drop of red ink goes swimming. In this video clip, you will observe 2 drops of dye being dripped into a beaker of pure water. Now, we can start watching the video. Here is the second drop of dye being added. What do you observe about the direction in which the dye spreads, as well as the final color or uniformity in the color of the solution? Do you observe that the red dye spreads in no specific direction and the final color of the solution was red in color? Let me now explain to you the reason behind this that you have observed. Dye molecules are in higher concentration in one area than the other in the beginning of the experiment. The drop of red dye exists as dye particles in water. Dye particles collide randomly with water molecules, and they occupy spaces between water molecules. A net movement of dye particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration occurs. And this, we say that diffusion has occurred. Diffusion can also take place across membrane. A partially permeable membrane only allows certain particles to pass through it. Dye molecules diffuses through the partially permeable membrane from the left-hand side to the right-hand side of the container. If there are 2 different types of particles, particles A and particles B, particles A are represented by the purple particles that you see on the left-hand side. Particles B are represented by the orange-colored particles that you see on the right-hand side. Particles A diffuse across membrane from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, while particles B diffuse across membrane from the right-hand side to the left-hand side of the container. Notice that there is an equal concentration of both types of particles on both sides of the membrane. We say that an equilibrium is achieved. Recall about the definition of diffusion. Particles will always travel from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until an equilibrium is reached. Now that you have already learned all about diffusion, both the definition and how it can occur both in the air and the liquid. Now, take out worksheet 1 to try applying the concepts that you have learned.